Welcome to Off the Clock. My name is Tiffany Draper, and I'm your host. Today we have Melanie Dockery, who's the owner of Creative Arts by Melanie. Melanie, it's so good to see you.
Good to be here.
And I know that you and I have worked together for a very long time, especially with the Women's Expo.
Yes.
I know that you enjoy coming to the Expo, and so since this is Off the Clock, we want to talk about things that are affiliated with, one, what you like to do off the clock when you're not doing things with Creative Arts by Melanie, but also we want to get into some things that you like to do, like what your hidden talents are and things of that nature. So let's just start by, I don't know, just talking about why you like art so much.
Well, why I like art so much is because it comes natural to me. I was born not an artist.
Were you born an artist?
I was born an artist. I am self-taught, but I continue the education through continued learning.
Sure.
All the time, all day. I specialize in the abstract 3D artwork.
So you didn't go to school for art.
I did not.
You're self-taught.
Yes.
And you like 3D abstract art. That's interesting.
I do.
Was it something that inspired that particular form of art?
Growing up, just being expressive with my family, and I was the one who always was creative, decorating for the holidays, and thinking outside that box. I was that outside one. I always thought outside.
So were you the only child, or did you have siblings?
No, I have an older brother. He's 5 years older than I am.
Now, is he into art as well?
No.
No? Okay.
Not at all. He
Total
leaves that up
opposite,
to
right?
me. He does. Total opposite. But I love it, and you're able to be expressive.
Right.
And nothing's not acceptable because it's what you're feeling.
Right.
So why not just lay it on paper?
Right.
Canvas, cloth, whatever you feel.
What inspired you to actually make this a business?
After I finished raising our kids, military wife, traveling, I was able to be settled here, and it made me realize, you know what, Melanie, don't forget who you are.
That's right.
What you're born to do. And so I started getting back into it, going to paint parties, and believe it or not, when I would go to a party and she'd say, okay, do this is what we're going to do. I would do that, but I would always add extra. And they'd say, oh, Melanie, here you go adding extra again. I said, because I am.
Right, so, right. It's okay to be a little extra.
And I say, here I am, getting back into who I am, and I loved it, and it just inspired me, and my friends would inspire me to say, hey, Doc, go ahead, and you might want to go ahead and start doing your own thing again.
Right. How important do you think it is to have friends who inspire you to do the things that you love?
Oh, it's very important because they're going to tell you the truth.
That's right.
And they're going to boost you up, your ego, and they're going to see what you're capable of doing when you're not. That's what they were for me.
Right. And so you have been a participant, a vendor at the Women's Expo that I host, and we are so happy that you continue to come back.
Yes, I love it.
Can I ask you what you felt like one of the most interesting parts of the Expo is when you come? Like, why do you keep coming back? Like, what is it? Like, do you just like me, or do you just like the Expo?
I love you. So I love you and supportive of you. But what brought me there in the first place is to display my art. And that's something that sometimes as an artist, we feel like we don't want to share because we don't feel like we're good enough. I don't want nobody to see my things, or are they going to laugh at me? Seriously. And so my family really encouraged me to do that as well. My husband and my kids, my grandson, and my mother. But
how did you find out about the Expo though?
I was on the social media.
Okay.
And I was friends with someone who was friends with you. And then that was 2019, 2020, COVID came.
Right.
And so I was at home. I was like, Tiffany Draper. I'm like,
The Tiffany Draper.
I know the. And I was like, I wanted to go. I remember the one on the sidewalk, and I couldn't participate. And so I was like, I want to become a part of that. So I started venturing out, getting my materials. My husband said, go ahead, Mel, you know, just continue, because he said, you know, you love art.
Right.
And going to the Expo brought me out my shell. It made me network. It made me speak when maybe I wasn't ready to speak and talk about things, and to meet other people to grow together.
So it was
because I'm not the only one.
It helped you grow. There were a lot of networking opportunities, and more than anything, it inspired you to keep going. So that's good because a
Always.
lot of people are not inspired to keep going, especially with their businesses. Fun fact, some people don't make it past year 2 of their businesses. So for you to be on, is it year 3?
This is year 3.
For your
September.
business, right? That's huge, Melanie. I think you need to give yourself a round of applause, a pat on the back, because a lot of people don't usually make it. I want to also highlight the fact that we did award you the Entrepreneur of the Year for 2023. Is that right?
So surprised, 2023, and I keep that big old check, the poster in my studio. So when people come in, they'll see what I've accomplished, and then 2, they say, "Hey, what's the women's expo?"
Right. It's a great talking point.
Yes, it is, and we do engage in, and I always promote that. So
thank you for that.
Yes.
Now you mentioned your husband. Which is my guy. He's Melanie has become like family, and Doc, your husband has inspired you in more ways than one. How many years have y'all been married?
It will be 32 May the 8th, and we've known each other for 34. So we are, yes, ma'am. Thank you. We're high school sweethearts.
Oh.
And he's my ride or die. He's my technical IT support for everything, and he's my biggest fan and my biggest critiquer too. So he will get on me about what I need to do
now
to keep going.
Is he into art?
He's not.
But he supports you, right?
He's not, but he'll leave it up to me, and he'll say, "Baby, I'll go. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do."
Right. So that's good.
It is.
I am not an artist, right? Now, I love art. I like art forms, but I have never been that person to want to just take like paintbrush, or the most I've been able to do is get like a crayon book and I can scribble. I just stay in the lines, right?
Okay.
Art, I think, is, I guess, open to, perspective, I guess. And I agree with you when you said there's no right or wrong way to do it. But for me, I've always been hesitant about putting some artwork out there. I've been to paint parties, I've been to paint studios and things of that nature where you've had to do stencils and trace and like color in. And mine always looks the total opposite from what everybody else is doing.
We can fix it up.
We can fix it.
Everything.
Nobody told me that it can be fixed. Right? But the good thing, though, is when I did go to those parties, it was fun. And it was just something different. For me, though, I just wonder how, when you meet somebody like me who is not as into art as you are, into maybe, how do you make them comfortable with, I don't know, doing art?
I'm glad you asked that question. So with that being said, I also have a certification in art therapy. And a lot of times with the students, or even adults as well, I'll just say, take a minute, take a deep breath, close your eyes.
That's good.
And then I have items around us, and pick up something.
I didn't even know art was therapy.
Yes, ma'am. And that actually relaxes people, knowing that, hey, I can do no wrong. I can do what's right on this canvas right now.
That's good.
So, and before you know it, we're just having a good time, talking about everything, and engaged in this art. And it just really makes them feel like, I don't have to be so uptight. I don't have to stay inside that box.
Right.
Think outside the box.
Right.
People do it every day.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, art therapy. My mom had some trauma back in the day. Her therapist told her to just get a coloring book.
Yes.
And so she has a coloring book, and she colors, and she does that maybe once or twice a week. And she said it's been the biggest outlet for her. So thank God for people like you who have other ways that people can find an outlet in their life. I want to ask you, so we know that you're this great artist in Huntsville, right? We know that you own Creative Arts by Melanie. We know you own a studio. You've had it for 3 years. I want to know, outside of art, off the clock, what do you do?
Well, besides hanging out with my family and having a good time, actually, with my husband being a little DJ, a side hustle. Yeah, play music in the house, and we just have a little party time with the family, and we just be in a whole little world.
Right.
As well as gardening. I like to sing, but within my soul, I sing.
Yeah,
and like to do karaoke. And I'm also, you might not know this, but I have a certification in event planning.
Do you really? Melanie, you are full of surprises today. So we're going to come back to that.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
hold that.
Yes,
And we're going to come right back and talk more with Melanie about all the things that she does and all these certifications that I never knew about. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Whether you're chasing your dreams, making an impact, or just doing something amazing, we want to hear from you. We're looking for passionate, unique voices to be featured on Off the Clock. Visit the link below to apply. Don't just watch the show, be in it. Welcome back to Off the Clock. I'm back with Melanie and her art pieces. So Melanie, tell us what we got here.
So we have a palette here, abstract palette as a matter of fact, and it was
That's pretty.
Thank you, thank you. I love it. I have different shapes as well.
Right.
This one was inspired during COVID because I was gonna be a part of as a vendor, so I had a lot of things left behind.
Okay.
The paintbrushes, they've gotten old, and I was like, oh, I don't want to throw them away.
Right.
I wanted to be creative with them.
Repurpose it. Right.
So guess what? I did a little splash, took all of them outside, laid them on the ground. I started just doing some abstract paintings with different acrylics, and then I would just throw the paintbrushes on there as they are, and then try to leave them as they are naturally, and then glue them
kind of how they were.
Right, and then I sealed it with the spray, and voila. And I've sold a couple of them. I have a large, medium, and they're small.
So you've made different versions of this one.
Yes, and different colors. People may ask for just plain black and white, or just purple, or that type of color.
So is this one for sale as well?
It is. This is for sale at the studio.
I'm interested. And so you have other art pieces as well.
I do. This bad boy here, I love it.
It's my favorite so far.
I love the colors. I do believe this is the color of my husband. Maybe inspired this one. With the abstract and feeling the way I was feeling that day.
I like the texture of it too.
Yes, ma'am. A lot of times what I have to do is allow things to dry and then overlay them.
Okay, so you do go back. So there is an art process to the art. All right, so you do go back in. So you've painted, but then you go back over with some other.
Most definitely. And a lot of times I may tape it off to create a border to make it more broad.
Okay.
Yes, and here I've used the acrylics 2 and 3. They're more thick acrylic than your basic acrylics that you use on a daily basis.
Very good.
And it creates that depth to it.
See, this is all that art stuff that I don't know nothing about. So I'm glad we're having this conversation because you're helping me. I don't know what any of that means. So this is good.
Most definitely.
So tell me about this particular piece here, because this has some rope involved, and I really like this. Is that rope, or should I hold it? Or
it's tweed. Yes, it's tweed, and I actually braided them together to create a more depth inside of the
this seems more here. Black history-ish.
It is. I have the greens. It was inspired actually last February.
And
I started out
spot on. I know something.
And the golds, because we're golden, and I just preferred all that different textures, as you can tell. Let it sit, and all the way around is a 3D type effect.
Now, do you have to leave like the art pieces out in the sun, like or do you just let them dry in the inside? Or
I will leave them outside, especially if I'm spraying them. Due to the fumes or whatever. But normally I let them stay out there for a little while, not too much direct sun, because I don't want them to, start deteriorating or anything of that nature. And then I'll bring them in with the windows up. But yes.
So let's talk about this one here, because I don't know if anybody knows, but my favorite color is green, right? So I'm always going to have some type of green on. Green, teal, Tiffany blue, you name it.
Tiffany blue is a beautiful color.
It is.
Didn't know it exists, but now we know today.
It does it,
So I did this one last week. I was so excited, y'all. I didn't even know where I was going with this piece, but I created a border, and it was abstract, and I started out with some blacks and the yellows and oranges, and then I let it sit. And then I came back on it, and then I took the scraper. You may touch it. I really encourage people to touch. I always let them know.
I'm a toucher.
Thank you.
To feel.
You're not going to break it. Because people need to feel the texture and what's coming at them and how it's expressive.
Now, what inspired you to do this one? Because you said you did this one last week.
I was feeling the colors. I actually had on a colorful shirt last week. It was abstract while I was at the mill. And so I was sitting here thinking about, I'm a colorful person. I love everything about colors.
So you like colors?
I do. I love colors. But my favorite are purple and green. Anyway, but with that being said, I used a scraper. I used the scraper tools and all kind of things. You name it. You could use your cards or bottle tops around you to be expressive. And then I let it sit. Then I took the dryer and I dried a little bit to create the depth in it that we have here.
So it almost looks like windows.
See,
I'm not sure.
You
like,
see what you want.
Artists.
There you go.
I was going to say that. So for me, you know, the different art pieces, I guess, depending on what you look at, you can, I guess, make up your own interpretation of what that means to you. For me, though, this looks like more serene, peaceful, spa-ish type. This is something that I probably put in my bathroom. Like, this is something that I probably buy and purchase. I just think it's beautiful.
Thank you.
All of them are beautiful, actually. And so, Melanie, if we wanted to, I don't know, buy this piece from you, how would we find you? Like, are you on social media? Do you have a website? Like, how do I say, hey, I want to buy this?
I am on social media, and you can locate me or contact me at Lomiel.
Okay.
You can contact me through my phone or social media.
Right.
Please, indeed, I appreciate it.
So all of these pieces are
all of
for
these
sale.
are for sale and much more.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showing that. We will be right back with our creative arts session. More with Melanie when we come back. Whether you're chasing your dreams, making an impact, or just doing something amazing, we want to hear from you. We're looking for passionate, unique voices to be featured on Off the Clock. Visit the link below to apply. Don't just watch the show, be in it. Welcome back to Off the Clock, and we're doing a creative art session with Melanie. So Melanie, what do we have here today?
We have a lovely heart, abstract heart that we're going to be creative with and creating a border as well.
Okay, well, I'm excited, so let's dive in.
That's right. We have the tools here in front of us, everything we can use. And first we're going to dab our brush, a little water on it.
All righty.
And mix your white and dab a little gray on the tail end of that.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Now, if you ever feel like you need too much, just dab it on the towel there.
Okay.
Now we're just going to whisk back and forth. Back and forth. Yeah, you can't go wrong. Just like you're sweeping the house, maybe, but just, you know, just upstairs a little bit. Go back and forth.
All right, I'm tapping.
And, all right.
I don't know about this.
Don't feel bad if you go inside that heart there.
I told you I'm an artist and I'm sensitive.
And you're going to be fine. So, and we're just going to make sure it's just all angles are covered before we go inside of that lovely heart. Now, after you've done that, make sure that we go in and rinse off that paintbrush. Dab it, always dab it, so it won't be too much water that would bleed onto the canvas. Okay. Now, also, if you would like, the main objective would be whatever color you want to stand out more.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with purple. What's your color you gonna go with?
Well, you know my favorite color is green, so I'm definitely gonna go with the green.
So I'm gonna do a little green, and if you want to, you can dab a color to mix in with that as well.
Okay.
Like I said, feel free, feel expressive.
And we're going inside of the heart.
That heart.
All righty. got a little green heart going here, a little green action.
Of course.
I do feel relaxed, you know, art therapy. This is good.
It is. I tell people, you know, don't think about what's going on outside in the world.
Oh, I'm definitely thinking about everything.
Don't think about what's going on.
Think about everything. What we going to eat for dinner?
Right now we're going to eat this paint on this brush. And we're about to have a great time.
This is fun. Now, do you go to people's homes and do this as well? Okay.
I will.
Very good.
Especially during the summertime, they have a lot of things on the outside on the porches and stuff
So
of that
like
nature.
a cool, like maybe couple
Pool
night at
setting.
home or a kid's birthday party or something.
Yes, yes, and especially if it's during the summertime, long as it is the air conditioner, the little fan is going.
Well, air conditioning ain't never hurt nobody, right?
Now you can also start to blend more colors, and you can, if that paintbrush is too much, okay, now you need to.
I messed up?
No, you didn't mess up.
Okay.
We can start.
Because you can't mess up art.
You cannot.
That's right.
Now, I'm going to encourage you to take your scraper.
Okay.
Take that scraper, okay? And I'm going to take one as well. And so I'm not going to use this side. I'm going to just use this side.
Oh.
If you have any type of tool, don't feel, y'all, you can always reuse it any way you want to. And just start scraping across there. There you go. And lift. Scrape and lift. Lift. Now go the other way. There we go.
Nice.
You're not going to mess up. If anything, it's going to blend and abstract
Yes, okay.
texture. Okay, we're going to add some more. What other color?
You are really good at this.
Well, I appreciate it. I love it. It's just I'm in my little aura here. Now, I'm going to take a little black. Okay, now scrape it. You're going to take that scraper and scrape it again. There we go. Go up and down. There you go. All right.
I don't know about this.
Now, get your fine paintbrush, the fine one, the finest one that you may have, and dip it in some black. Sharing is caring.
All right. Thank you.
I love it. Now, you're going to trace that heart. You're going to trace it.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, trace it. Don't feel bad about coming outside the line. It's okay, because we're going to hook it up anyway and create the abstract.
All righty. All righty. I'm trusting
It's
you.
going to come alive.
Sensei.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And yes, and just loveliness to it. Just brisk it around.
See, you're good at this. This
We're not
is what you
stressing out.
do.
We're not trying to be all hard and, going on in the brush. I always tell
Understood.
people, relax. It's okay.
Right, because you can't mess up art.
It's almost like putting parentheses on the end over there on the other side of the heart.
My parentheses is huge.
The parentheses. Quotate, quotate. Now, that same setting, while it's still wet, you're going to take your scraper again, okay?
Uh-oh.
Yes, ma'am. There you go.
Okay.
You're going to start scraping it. Oh, yes, coming alive. There we go. Lift, lift. Scrape and lift. And go down. It's coming together already. Now I'm
Something's
seeing where
coming together. I don't know what's coming together.
So now I feel like I want some more colors in here, and I'm going to go with a little pink. And right there on the end, if you could check how I'm doing that, you just flick it. Like flick your
Look
wrist,
at the wrist.
flick your wrist,
I
flick
knew
your
you were
wrist,
going to
flick your
say
wrist,
that.
flick your wrist.
We are one and the same. I love it here.
Now, any other questions you might have with the artistry here?
Well, I was going to tell you that I've never seen anybody use the scraper to blend the art. So
Now,
that's pretty cool.
As you see, that's my circuit, my Cricut. I'm sorry, not circuit, but my Cricut scraper. Again, you guys, during COVID, I started using a whole bunch of tools around me to be creative. And I brought some here, sponges, netting from something I purchased at a store.
Okay.
A fork, dots, any type of
So you
thing.
can create art with almost anything.
Yes,
Is that a
topper.
wine
Yes,
cork?
ma'am.
Oh,
You
that's
better
what I'm
put that in
talking
there.
about right there.
And that'll add just a little flavor to it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Just a little
I like flavor.
Yeah. We're going to add that little flavor. Now, I'm loving that. Now, take your scraper.
Okay.
And you're going to scrape and lift. Like I showed you. Yeah.
Lord.
Yes. Call him on, honey. Call on him, because he hears you. He hears you. Now.
All right, man.
Okay.
I don't know about this.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm going to just have to go over my heart again.
Yes, yes.
Something's happening.
No. Now, if you feel like you got too much paint on the scraper, then just dab it on the towel there to release some of that extra paint that's on there. Because sometimes we get a little too, a little too heavy.
Now, if I want to go back and fix my heart,
you
the
sure
outline,
can.
I can. All right.
That's why you can see it.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. And then after that, after all is said and done, I'm going to take your lovely little painting,
and you're gonna
and I will seal it with a kiss.
You're gonna fix it for me.
I am.
I have
To encourage
thoroughly
others.
enjoyed this. This
Yes.
has been so much fun. And you know
It
what?
is.
It is relaxing.
It really
Art
is.
therapy is, I guess, kind of like going to therapy, except for I'm not laying on the couch. I'm actually painting,
Right.
and this is fun. Melanie, this has been so much fun. Tell us how we can reach you.
You can reach me at Lomiel Arts and Entertainment, Studio 2050 upstairs, second floor. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook. Contact me through phone. Hey, I'm here.
Very
Let's do some
good.
parties.
Well, I'm ready.
Let's do some parties.
Hey, y'all, this has been amazing. Join us next time to see who's off the clock.